Did you see how it fucking it blinked? I'm pretty sure that was on purpose because that's so funny.
What a voice.
The air is chill.
How do you do that? Maybe that can be like my thing. Every time I start one of these videos, I go like, and then it's all wow. And now you cannot see my face. Great. I feel like now you can. Hey everyone, my name is Benjamin. This is Oatmilk's Quest, where we delve deep into arts questions about everything. Not because I am very well versed in all of those things, but because I think I can offer a thing or two about creativity. And talking about creativity, one thing that's gathered a lot of heat is AI lately. But what we're gonna be actually focusing on today is not whether it's creative or morally wrong or whatever, but if it can actually be used for filmmaking. I actually toyed with the concept of AI short filmmaking, and it was really hard. It required so much work for you to have the actual input that directors have when they're making movies. Because it's not just like make a puppy eating a banana, right? There needs to be a story happening and things moving in a certain way. And when you're the director, you actually normally have a pretty specific vision of how things should fall into place. However, I have become aware of some examples where that has worked. One that I really like is the Corridor Crew's Rock, Paper, Scissors, especially the second one. But honestly, besides that, I have yet to find AI filmmaking that's actually meaningful in any way. So today we'll be reacting, although it's not my favorite type of YouTube video, but we'll be reacting to AI short films that have gone semi-success in YouTube. Because, you know, I'm an upcoming filmmaker, but I need to see if this is really worth putting the effort in. I think it's important to see the competition. And right now, AI is my competition, so we might as well. We're gonna react to it. It's called Where the Robots Grow. The thumbnail looks really pretty, so it might be really pretty. Sorry, not a reacting YouTuber. Okay, we see a bird. Bird. Oh, wow. That's like AI, but animation. Right, we're seeing like a logo, I guess. Yes, nice logo. I like the logo. I give it 10 logos out of 10. Wait, it's an hour. It's an hour and 27 minutes. Okay, that's like a huge movie. We're not gonna watch the whole movie. We're gonna watch the beginning, okay? Because like, otherwise, it's gonna be a really fucking long video.
Since the dawn of time, mankind has reached for the stars. From the first stone tools to the modern marvels of technology, our ability to survive has known no bound. And you, number 5, are a vital part of that mission.
Initiating ascent now.
You are what is called a compact research unit, designed to operate in harmony with the environment.
I'm actually really curious what is AI here and what isn't. I mean, this is AI, right? Like, you can tell. This is also AI. But the shots of the robot, I could assume it's not. Or at least not right away, right?
And just like your makers, you will survive.
Like this, for instance, right? Like, I mean, I get it, the background is full AI, but maybe this is like a 3D model. I wouldn't be surprised that's the case.
Come on, 2. We better get ready.
Good luck, number 5. Mankind is counting on you. So, you better not let us down.
Okay, this is actually really impressive, I have to say. Like, you can see there's a direction here. You see, my biggest issue with like AI filmmaking is that lots of times it doesn't have any sort of direction whatsoever. Patrick something, I just became a subscriber of him, I don't quite know his name yet. He made a video recently, super interesting, about AI filmmaking, and specifically these shorts that have become very famous, imitating the Wes Anderson style with other concepts like Spider-Man. Care about this topic a lot, go watch that video. The examples he gives are pretty directionless, especially when we find out that the director actually doesn't even make the scripts, but he actually just asks ChatGPT to make them. Whereas this, I would assume, is actually made by a human being in terms of like what happens. Like, everything seems very purposeful, and I would hope that like if we start making movies with AI, because again, maybe we're not, that this would be kind of like what people do. Okay, so thoughts so far. I think it has the potential of being like an interesting film, but I do have to say it doesn't motivate me to watch the hour and 27 minutes of the full thing. I think it's an example of like it's getting there, right? Like it's a lot of it didn't strike me as AI generated, which is super super interesting. Is it fun though? I don't know. I mean, maybe later on it becomes fun. I don't think it was fun though. Which is, I think, important for filmmaking, at least to a degree, especially if you're making this kind of film. Like, it was really big, and I think it was more about showing that you can do these things with AI filmmaking rather than like making a story that was super super interesting from the beginning. Let's go with Robot. This is an actual short film.
Good evening. Tonight's top story, a significant leap in robotics. Robots now occupy 20% of jobs across various industries, initially filling labor-intensive roles and now advancing into leadership position. This marks a significant...
Okay, this is really funny to me because I actually had a movie that was like this. It was like a reporter and the guy was talking. But the difference was that I was talking because I know that like these voices really don't represent how humans talk right now. You know, you can tell it's an AI talking. And I think that makes it just less enjoyable. It's really uncanny valley, right? It makes it a weird watching experience if there's a voice. Like, just get an actor for this. Especially he's talking about like robots taking over the workforce.
This marks a significant shift in the landscape of employment and technological
Turning to more
integration.
groundbreaking developments, the ascendancy of robots now transcends the corporate sphere, making a profound impact on the world of art.
Moving on to a historic moment. In an unprecedented turn of events, a robot has won the elections, making history as the world's first robot president.
Hello, Robert. Thank you for coming to my office. Please listen. I have 3 pieces of news for you. 2 are bad, and 1 is very good.
Well, I'm listening.
Okay. So, let's start with the bad news. I am your new boss.
What are you talking about?
You know what this feels like? The annoying orange, that kind of thing. Like everything is static, but then it just moves, right? But even less expressive because the annoying orange has the eyes, which really put a lot of emotions here. This is just the mouth moving. The guy's slightly moving the face, but the eyes are like dead inside. So it's just less emotion.
The committee has decided that a robot, which is to say me, is the ideal candidate to fill the vacant position of head of accounting.
But I was told that position was for me.
Yes, I am aware, however. The decision was made for me, you understand.
Well, okay, what can we do? If there's no other choice.
Affirmative. Proceeding to the second piece of unfavorable information. You have been terminated from employment.
What was that possible? Truly?
Truly?
You're going to be replaced by a robot. But let's move on to the good news. You're going to have all the time in the world to dedicate yourself to singing, which is what you love.
Ignoring the obvious artifacts and the weird ways they're moving and how like that shape of body doesn't make sense for like what he's doing right now, or the lighting, or like literally anything. Like, where's that light coming from in his forehead right now? There's a fucking roof on top of his head. I am willing to go past those things because I think it's, at the end of the day, it's irrelevant if you have a super interesting story. But so far, like, we're 3 minutes in, I don't feel related to this character. And that's just a storytelling issue, right? My biggest deal breaker, again, is the faces. Like, the fact that they're so fucking dead inside. Also, like, let's just keep adding up, right? Like, like, it's all of them. You have to go, stop, and maybe not go and stop. Like, what is this implying, you know?
What are you looking at?
Oh, great. No, that's amazing. Guys, I take everything back. AI filmmaking is the best thing. We have black robots now.
And cat. Do I owe you something?
No. Hello, darling.
He looks so
The joy of
photoshopped
the
and
house
everything,
has
right?
arrived. Darling, are you listening to music in the room?
It's just, I have reasons to believe this was written by AI. it's really telling and not showing, which could be just a bad storyteller or someone that didn't work that much on their script. Yeah.
What are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing?
Why have you arrived so early?
Right.
Aren't you supposed to be at the office?
Yes, indeed. But things happened. Who is that robot?
He's a new friend.
Right.
We're watching a movie he directed.
Right.
He's a filmmaker.
A film director? Wow, that's intriguing. Is the movie any good?
Is it?
Yes, Robert. Robert, we need to talk.
Yes, indeed. You two should have a discussion.
Thank you for coming.
Okay,
friend.
this is just
It's been
feverish.
a dreadful day.
My pal, what a disaster to be replaced by a robot at work.
I'm really trying to be positive here, but it's very hard.
Leaving. Well, I was thinking of going back to singing. I could return to the band. What do you say?
Returning to sing with us in the band. Robert, I don't know.
Listen, I know it's been a long time, but my vocal cords remain unscathed.
My vocal cords remain unscathed. Who would say this? Ever. You know, it's just... You know, there's so many ways you could make this like much more interesting. By the way, this film should be lasting. We should be in the 2nd minute mark by this point. This is hell to watch this.
Are an extraordinary singer, but now another singer, a new singer.
Seriously?
You know the singer? You know who he's gonna be? He's gonna be Robert.
Please don't tell me it's a robot.
Well, Robert, yes, it's a robot, you know.
Fucking shocking.
The only way to get gigs is to have a robot singer.
Okay, you know, something that I love is that the background keeps changing. Like, focus on the robots on the background, on the left. They keep morphing and then disappearing into other things.
No other choice?
You know? Like, everyone just disappears in this sound. And they have a huge thing with the missing people department. Like, it's crazy every day. One pattern that I'm noticing with this AI short films is that they have a lot of established shots. And I think it's because they are easy to produce. They have almost nothing to fuck up. And they are pretty, but they really slow the pacing. Again, this is a really slow movie. And that guy looks photoshopped as fuck. Like, I don't understand why his face keeps being just a bright white spot in front of everything. Like, the lights wouldn't react this way to his face. And it's really easy to just like put a filter on it.
Places to play now only want robot singers. The only way to get gigs is to have a robot singer.
We just watched this scene. We don't need a reminder of it.
A new singer, whose warm voice is a revelation in robotic music, breaking all stereotypes. Please welcome, Robot.
The daylight fades, the shadows crawl. The darkness rises, night does fall. Cloaked in black, the moon hides her face.
Wow. Here we have my new favorite singer.
Yep. What a voice.
Just see how it fucking it blinked. I'm pretty sure that was on purpose because that's so funny.
What a voice.
The air is chill.
How do you do that? Like, as a guy, like, just grab the fucking metal and you...
Oh my gosh, best voice ever.
You know, this is actually the most unrealistic part of the short film because baritones don't get that much love. You know, when people sing just like this, they don't, no one starts going like, oh my god. Like, it's normally with people going like, oh, you know, like the, like we can, anyways. Yeah. The darkness, and it faded to black. Did you see that? that's art right there.
Twist that has captivated the music industry. It has been revealed that the chart-topping sensation Robot is not a robot.
Okay, so again, this is a filmmaking issue. It's not an AI issue. I think these films suck not because of the tools they're using. I think they suck because the art sucks here. I'm pretty sure this was written with ChatGPT, like lots of it. the actual interesting part of this is not robots taking over everything. It's the fact that this guy would play as a robot and people would love him because now he's a robot. Like, that's an interesting plot to think about, maybe even like a philosophical question to think about to a degree. Although, yeah, but we just skipped over the whole thing. It works, and then he's revealed. Like, what kind of story is this? Like, what's the point of him doing this? You're jumping to the conclusion right away without playing with it.
Named Robert, cleverly disguised with a mask.
A really cool mask though, because he can still blink.
A profound reassessment within the music world, heralding the comeback of human artists to the forefront of the scene.
Yeah, prompted. I can tell it's prompted for sure. Nobody on the computer. I'm sure he calls himself nobody. This has 246,000 views. That is legitimately insane. Okay, you see, like this, I'm in for this kind of thing. I feel like I'm already like, fuck yeah. No, but really, this is the issue if you're an amateur filmmaker. If you're filming with your phone, all those scenes, and even if you do it really well, it's not gonna look like this later, right? Like at any point, because also you can see like the blacks are really black and the whites are really white. Your phone doesn't do that with the images. But I do believe that this kind of shots, if you put them with normal like filmmaking magic, you could make really cool things. Like, imagine you're a filmmaker, you're starting, you don't have a budget, you have only 10 people who are really dedicated for you, and you're making some sort of spy war movie, and there's a scene where there's like this. You could totally do it, and I think it would be amazing. But I have yet to find out, like, why aren't people doing those like more interesting decisions? Anyways, I mean, maybe this movie is really cool, but we'll see. Okay, the quality of the video looks much better than the other movies so far. But it also looks more trailery, you know? Like, are we watching a trailer or are we watching a movie?
What are you feeling? What's going on in that head of yours, Roger?
Wait, is it the same person? I guess so.
Yeah, I don't know where to start. Truth of the matter is, I don't know what to say.
Let's talk about your childhood.
Sorry, it's just like maybe not that shot, but
Let's
those eyes. Like here, he looks so serious and emotive. Actually, like I'm surprised. Like if we look at it comparing to the other one, he has much more emotion in his face, right?
I don't know what to say.
And I like this like different shots because it makes it feel like, you know, like in Arrival, and that scene when everything starts like becoming one kind of thing, because the future and the past and the present, they all collide, and it's like this really nice edited thing. This has the same vibe and it has like the same usage of like storytelling, and that's really cool because I'm assuming it's really hard to get like the same face all the time, a cohesive dialogue and whatever. So that works really well. Oh damn! His house was burned. Okay.
These memories, these thoughts, it makes me think, what were we even fighting for? What freedom were we fighting for?
What about now? The war is over. Don't you feel free now?
This ain't freedom.
Does this have to do with your family, your children?
I think about my son. What world did I bring him into?
What do you remember about that day in June on the beach?
I was part of the barrage balloon battalion. I remember storming the beach that day. Hundreds of soldiers, my brothers. We provided protection to the ships, to the soldiers. A lot of men died that day. I felt just collateral.
I ask you to join with me in prayer. Almighty God, our sons, pride of our nation, this day have set upon a mighty endeavor. They will need thy blessings. Their road will be long.
Okay. Dave Clark, you actually exceeded my expectations by a lot. We're seeing different patterns, right? The first two movies really focused on robotic characters. I think that's just easier. This one really just went all in with generating people, and of course it has its clear, like but I mean, this guy knew the story he wanted to tell, right? And again, let's put it back to the indie filmmaker, the guy that actually doesn't have the money to make this film, like hiring all these people, going into a fucking beach that looks like Normandy, like all these things, really, really expensive, right? The other thing is like it really worked for this montage thing because it doesn't really matter the progression of things, like they just kind of go. I think the next step would be trying to make these action scenes be more like they're following an actual sequence of events, right? It's not them just like fighting in the beach with his memories from before. Like they're going to a military base and they're surrounded by everyone, so they almost, like, most of them die, and there's specific characters that die, and that's what I think AI filmmaking is still missing, because it's really hard to do, right? Like you would have to make all these models from these different people, and even so, it would be really, really hard to be able to do that and to make everything look the same. It sounds like a lot of work, but I think this is honestly, out of the three ones, this is what I like the most. What are people saying of this? Like exactly what this guy's saying. Finally, someone just using tools to create stories, not just random stuff coming up from AI. I completely agree. So, is filmmaking there yet? Not quite. But it's definitely an improvement of things that were happening like 2 years ago, which is great. But we keep running into the same issues. It has the potential of providing tools for filmmakers who do not have access to billion-dollar shoots of like Dunkirk or something. But what it struggles the most with is with human expression and with like actual storytelling. If you make the story, I think we should agree that as how we're using the technology now, these tools shouldn't be making the whole thing. There should definitely be people involved to a degree, hopefully to a big degree. I think it's still falling into this idea that like, we have AI, so we might as well show everything that we can do with it. If you're going to use AI to make short films, or if anyone's going to do that, you really should just try to do the story you want to do and see how AI can help you do that. I'm going to use AI. What story can I tell with AI? Because even if you have janky shit, and like even if the expression itself of the faces, or like it doesn't make sense, or there's artifacts and stuff, like we can forgive those things as long as the story is entertaining. So am I worried that it's gonna have an impact on my filmmaking career and I'm not gonna be able to find a job because of it? No, I actually think I'm not gonna be able to find a job because of it, because it's just really fucking hard, not because of AI. Yeah, bye.